Hey guys, welcome back to another episode of the His and Hers,
Yes.
the Truth podcast.
Uh-huh.
And guys, real quick, yes, we just obviously, I guess, reformatted the title of our
Yes.
podcast to the His and Hers, the Truth podcast. Hopefully, that'll help you guys search for our podcast a lot easier. I just noticed that whatever YouTube's doing to suppress the truth, right? It's been obviously giving people a hard time finding our channel, and then even sometimes when you guys are subscribed or obviously have watched our videos before, it's hard to even search for it.
Yep.
So just obviously that hopefully that will help you guys. Okay, so yeah, search for once again His and Hers, the Truth podcast. Okay. Speaking of subscriptions, honey,
Yes.
right? Everyone, subscribe to the channel.
Yes.
Loyal viewers, thank you for coming back. But new
Yeah.
viewers, quit shadow watching out
No
there,
shadow
right?
watching.
Subscribe to the channel.
Yeah.
Smash that like button. Both things are free,
Yes.
right? If you like the truth, if you know the truth, and if you believe in the truth, and you want to debunk the lies too, right?
Yeah.
Do us a huge solid and subscribe to the channel.
Very
Okay. Turn on the notification bell.
true. Ding.
Yep, lets you know when we post new content. As you guys can see, now that we moved into our new digs, right,
Yeah.
honey? We've been posting a lot of more content for you guys. So yeah, hopefully we're gonna be posting at least one or every other day video for you guys moving forward. And of course, comment and share. We love
Share.
all the comments. I know we got a quite a bit recently, and so I want to react to your guys' comments and answer some of the questions or clarify some of the comments that you guys had. So keep pouring them in. We'll definitely read everyone and make sure we react to it. Okay, guys?
Show us some
Cool.
love, guys.
Yep. Check our channel over at His and Hers YT on TikTok.
Yep.
And look out for more content like our short clips channel. And of course, when we're going to start bringing guests onto the show.
Yes.
So yes, we've started that process, and hopefully we'll get some submissions and bring you guys that new format as well.
True.
Okay, guys. Today is another episode of Marriage Mondays, honey.
Yeah.
Right? So check out our very first episode where we asked the obviously the big question, right? Is marriage even worth it in
Yep.
today's day and age? And so this I want to continue with that mindset. And obviously you and I, we
Yeah.
both believe in marriage.
Yes, we do.
So now that we want to pursue marriage, I think the next advice that we can give to all our viewers out there,
Yeah.
honey, is what is the mindset before you're married? So let's say you're single and you're looking to get into a relationship with the hopes of getting married eventually.
Yeah.
Or if you're in a relationship right now but you're not married yet.
Yeah.
And of course, if you're, fiancéed, right? You've proposed, the man has proposed to the
Yeah.
woman, and now you guys are fiancé and you're about to get married. What advice can
Can we give
my wife and I give to you guys
Yep.
to give you guys the best outcome for the truth? Okay.
True that.
So yeah, so honey, it can be either one of those stages in the relationship. I'll let you start. What is a little bit of advice you can give to our viewers out there?
Well, of course, the first thing foremost is get to know each other.
Okay.
And be honest, like what you expect from the other party. From the other, from your boyfriend, from your girlfriend, because it all go through stages. I believe in stages. You have to get to know each other, date, get to know one another. Be upfront about it. What do you expect? Does this person, seeing being married, do they want kids? Yes or no? Like for us, with our truth, we want kids. Having a kid and giving the best outcome. That's our truth, right? So we hope the person you meet, want kids, right? So just straight off the ballpoint.
Well, you should know if you communicate with one another,
that's
like
what I'm
my
saying.
wife is saying.
Communication is very important, right? The key to a successful relationship. So definitely you have to be honest, straightforward with each other. Like we were pretty honest and straightforward. Like what I want. Does he have a sense of direction with his life? Like what do you want to do? Like, and this is when we're just 16. Like I'm already bringing that up before we dated. I don't want to like beat around the bushes because like with my strict parents or like the person you meet or the person you're dating, that's the person you're going to get married. So it's best to get it straight out the ballpoint, ballpark, whatever people say it, like from baseball, and just be like honest with each other, straightforward. Be like, okay, well, do you want to get married? What's your, what's the direction of your life? See how the person is, how they carry themselves, all that stuff, get to know one another and then move forward from there.
Okay.
Honesty, communication is the key to me.
Okay. Yeah, I agree with those 100%. My wife
Mm-hmm.
gave some really good advice as
Yeah.
far as some processes that you need to implement in place
Mm-hmm.
to have a successful relationship,
Yeah.
eventually marriage, and then, of course, outcome of the truth, right?
Mm-hmm.
But I'm going to start from the very beginning, honey.
Yep.
And that's what, and this is what our channel is always about, guys, right?
Mm-hmm.
It's the truth.
Yep.
And so that's where we have to start, as always. I
Yeah.
always come back to it. And it's having both people's mindset, the
Mm-hmm.
truth, right? Meaning that the outcome that both of you guys are pursuing and wanting
Mm-hmm.
is kids
Yep.
and the best outcome for your kids.
Mm-hmm.
And let me speak on that real quick because we live in a day and age now. We live in a society now that has taught and is currently teaching
Mm-hmm.
young people, men and women,
Mm-hmm.
right, to ignore that.
Yep.
They're saying, "Oh, go and live your life, right? You're
Mhm.
18, you're 22, you're 23. Oh my God, you're still so young. Why are you worried about that, right?
Mhm.
Go focus on your career. Go focus on these other things that, give you happiness, right? Makes you feel good. But ultimately, it's going to ruin you. It's going to set you up for failure when it comes to the truth.
Mhm.
Because this is the other thing they don't tell you. You can do all those things
Mhm.
and still be in the pursuit of the truth,
Yep.
right? And actually, if your mindset is correct and you know that that final outcome is the truth, you will actually make better moves, right? During those phases of having fun, quote
Mhm.
unquote, right? Gaining your values, focusing on your career.
Mhm.
If you know that the final outcome is the truth,
Yep.
you're going to do the right things during those phases to
Mhm.
give you the better outcome for the truth. Okay. So that's first and foremost is getting both people, the man and the woman's mindset on that similar focus.
Mhm.
Okay.
Similar path.
Yes. Okay.
Mhm.
And now, once you realize that,
Yep.
then you can start focusing on the values. And once again, I want to keep defining these terms for you
Mhm.
guys that our channel is all about. So the values that we always speak about is
Mhm.
it's for the truth. It's not for the SMV. It's not for your sexual market value,
Mhm.
right? It's not for the dating market,
Mhm.
right? It's not to be a freaking player and to go out there and try to get a sex from any woman, right?
Mhm.
Or it's not trying to be a freaking finesser and trying to scam men out of their money and their resources, right?
Mhm.
It's for the purpose of the truth.
Yep.
Okay. And that is the key, right? As long as you realize that the values that you're gaining or retaining,
Mhm.
right, or working on is for that purpose.
Yep.
Okay. So, for example, right, we say nowadays in our society, right, hey, as a man, go focus on your career, right?
Mhm.
And then obviously gain experience. These are very generalized terms that we all hear all the time as far as advice that's
Yep.
given to men, right? Go get your money, right? Go get a
Mhm.
job, go do entrepreneurship. That's going to give you a lot of money because what is that going to give you? It's going to give you sex. It's going to let you buy that nice car, that
Mhm.
nice condo on the beach, right? But no emphasis on the truth.
Truth.
And
Totally.
so, what you're doing to men is setting them up for failure ultimately, because even though their value
Are high.
is going to become high,
Mhm.
and it will give them right some positive outcomes going towards the truth,
Yep.
right? Because that focus isn't on the truth,
Mhm.
they're going to make mistakes.
Yep.
For one, simping, right? We talk about simping all the time, right?
Mhm.
And so a lot of men will equate, well, hey, I'm going to get all these values so that way I can get sexual access from women.
Mhm.
And what I'll do is I'll just try to spend money on them. I'll try to, flash my status and my fame on
Mhm.
them, right? And then hopefully in that hopes I will get some sex from them,
Mhm.
right? But then now all you're doing is you're setting yourself up for that simping outcome, unfortunately,
Mhm.
right? Same thing with females, right? You tell women that, well, one, you tell women, not even to worry about the truth and that,
Mhm.
the outcome for them is to be a boss babe, be a queen, right? And go have as many sexual partners as you want. And,
Mhm.
and
You don't want to do
right.
that.
And in essence, you destroy
Mhm.
the opposite of what the women's values are supposed to be. Okay.
Mhm.
So yeah, so that would be my first piece of advice from the get-go is focus on the truth,
Mhm.
know what it is, right? And both people communicate,
Yep.
right?
Which is the key.
Even at a
Important.
young age, right? Moms and dads out there, right? Elderly people, older people out there who are mentoring younger people, please please reestablish them back on this
Mm-hmm.
focused mindset of the truth. So that way these kids can actually pursue these
Mm-hmm.
values with
Yep.
the right mindset,
Yep.
with the correct way to go about doing things.
Yep.
Okay. All right. So that's my first piece of advice. Honey, what about maybe when they get into maybe the later phases, right? Like now they're a fiance, or
Mm-hmm.
maybe they've been a serious boyfriend for maybe, several months to maybe a couple years or whatever. And I try to emphasize that, right? Because if
Mm-hmm.
someone has been dating for a long time,
Mm-hmm.
unless you guys are obviously on the same mindset as the truth
Mm-hmm.
and both parties are working towards, like, hey, the man is still working on his job, or the woman is still, helping with him in that job,
Mm-hmm.
and they're both kind of pursuing, but they know ultimately at the end of the day, they're
They should be together.
together, and then
Mm-hmm.
they're going to come into, marriage, and then, of course, have kids. I'm okay with that long term relationship aspect.
Mm-hmm.
But the honest truth is that if you guys were doing things correctly,
Mm-hmm.
a relationship shouldn't be that long. But anyways, honey, I'll let you answer. What do you think? What's the advice you can give to maybe like a more down the road relationship?
Well, down the road, I mean, for now that what we're gonna use example, like if they are proposed now, they're
Yeah, and let's
getting
say they're
together.
fiancés, or maybe
Okay,
now
or
they've
now
already
they're.
been dating each other for a good 2 or 3 years.
Mm-hmm.
You know,
Well, like we said, for a woman, hopefully, I'm hoping that for a woman, you guys are gonna get married before hitting like 24. 20. I'm thinking like 24, under 25 is a good age because our biological women's biological things, especially if you want to have kids and stuff, that is a similar good age.
mm-hmm,
For a
mm-hmm.
man, I hope you guys, if a man is older, for me, I think if even if they're 5 or close to 8 or years old difference, at least I hope you are established. You're stable, your value is up, which is finance, right? Because to have kids, financially, if you want to give them the best outcome, whether they're playing sports or good school or neighborhood or home, you're paying bills.
Yeah.
I mean, I hope you guys are established, and like my husband said, your focus to give the kids the best outcome is both parents being there for them, to guide them, to be good role models.
Mm-hmm.
And so that is to me is important,
Yeah.
you know.
So let me elaborate real quick before I
Yeah.
get to my point. So my wife talked to a huge key point there was
Mhm.
age. And
Mhm.
sometimes, obviously, we focus on the female age quite a bit
Yeah,
in these
it
conversations and in
is.
these communities, right? Because rightfully so, you guys are on a egg biological time clock, right? But
Mhm.
something that we forget to emphasize a lot on is that the man is on a clock too, guys.
Mhm.
And I'm not saying we're the same, right?
Yeah.
Well, obviously, a man has an extended time period. But last thing you want, and I'm not saying that it can't, some people sort of make it work out. But the last thing you want is to have a child at a very old age as a
Yeah.
man, right? If you want the best outcome for your child, right? Do you
Mhm.
really want to have a kid at 50?
60,
If once he turns 18,
Mhm.
or he or she, it doesn't matter if it's a daughter or a son, right? There's a good chance that you're not there anymore. You're
Mhm.
dead, right? I mean, men typically, early 70s, late 60s is kind of our lifespan, right? So last thing you want to do is be an older gentleman having a kid, and then that kid is going to, not have a dad at
Mhm.
16, at 17. Those formative years when he's becoming a young adult, a
Mhm.
man now, he needs guidance, right?
Mhm.
And I think what a lot of these, unfortunately, well-to-do, influential men will think, well,
Mhm.
oh, I have money.
Yeah.
I'll just give him the resources and he'll be fine, right? Give him a lot of money. I don't need it, especially in this day and age with the society telling us that, hey, don't really
Mhm.
teach men's preferences and men's
Value.
values,
Mhm.
right? And like I said, obviously, I don't want to lengthen this video, but obviously, the women's age is a no brainer, right? You
Mhm.
want to be youthful enough to have kids and obviously have a successful
True.
pregnancy. Okay. Uh, I would add in terms of, okay, now we've set a kind of a picture of that both your mindset is on the same mindset, right? So you both believe in the truth. You're
Mhm.
both pushing towards the truth. Now, this is kind of where I deviate real quick,
Yeah.
and age comes into play once again. Now, if you guys are of similar age, meaning that
Mhm.
both the man and the woman is 24, 25,
Yeah.
right? And you are okay, like you're pursuing the truth, but you're not significantly well to do yet.
Mhm.
I would still suggest going and get married. And the reason for that is because there's no reason, there's no reason not to, per se, is what I'm trying to say. Although I will give them an out in terms of, like, let's say you were dating for 4 years, 5 years, right? You dated when you were 19, 18, and now you're both 24, right? You have a little bit of time before you can, if you like to make that full commitment legally to be marriage, right? The reason why I say that is because if you're not financially well-to-do as a couple, right, go ahead and obviously focus on that to obviously get your values higher. But once again, I don't think it's there's no reason not to make that commitment, is what I'm trying to say. Okay. Now, in the same respective light, if you're an older man, like my wife is saying, and your value is significantly higher, which it should, right? If you're 35, 40 years old, you've had longer time to pursue your resources and your fame, right? And now you're dating a woman that's 24, 25. I believe, just like what Mr. Kevin Samuels said, right? R.I.P. to him, right? A man in that situation who's a high value man and who's dating a high value woman because she's younger, she's beautiful, she's fertile, and let's say, obviously she has her values high, there's no reason why you should be waiting. A man like that who knows what he wants, who knows he has the resources, he's ready to have kids, he wants to have kids because obviously his age is up there. If this is a warning to obviously females. If a man of that caliber who's high value is stringing you along and obviously just having sex with you and not putting a ring on you, he is not serious, right? Men like that who knows that you are obviously wife worthy, if he deemed you as wife worthy, he would have put a ring on you already.
I'm trying to tell you guys right now, if a man truly loves you, okay, vice versa, even a girl, like, she will ask for the ring right away, or he will find any ways, any means to propose to you. That's what love is. So if he's hanging, you by the string, or he has his other wife, trust me, it's not worth it. Just be out of the relationship.